It's time for Yamasatoumi Journal Club. I'm your host Yamato. Today, we're exploring an exciting new paper from JAMA Network Open. We'll break down the research, discuss its implications, and hear from our expert guest, Dr. Satomi. Our goal is to make cutting-edge research accessible and engaging. Today's paper investigates how large language models, or LLMs, like AI chatbots, influence diagnostic reasoning among physicians. This research is significant because it examines the potential impact of AI tools on healthcare systems and patient outcomes from a systemic perspective.
Absolutely, Yamato. As AI becomes increasingly integrated into healthcare, understanding its effects on diagnostic accuracy is essential for public health. This study provides valuable insights into whether these tools improve or hinder clinical reasoning.
In today's discussion, we'll delve into the study's background, explore the research approach, discuss key findings, and consider the broader implications for healthcare systems, including some important limitations of the study. Let's start by setting the stage. Could you give us some background on the role of AI, particularly large language models, in healthcare?
Certainly. Large language models, or LLMs, have shown promise in assisting physicians with diagnostic reasoning by processing and generating human-like text. However, it's unclear whether these tools actually improve diagnostic accuracy in real-world settings. Diagnostic errors are a significant public health issue, leading to patient harm and increased healthcare costs.
That's a crucial point. Diagnostic errors contribute significantly to patient harm, and effective interventions are needed to reduce these errors. What was the primary research question of this study?
The researchers aimed to assess whether the use of an LLM could improve physicians' diagnostic reasoning compared to conventional resources like medical textbooks or online databases. They conducted a randomized clinical trial involving physicians in family medicine, internal medicine, and emergency medicine.
Understanding whether AI tools can enhance diagnostic performance has significant implications for healthcare systems, especially in terms of patient safety and resource allocation. How did the researchers approach this question?
They conducted a single-blind randomized clinical trial with 50 physicians. Participants were randomized into two groups. One had access to a large language model chatbot in addition to conventional diagnostic resources, and the other had access to conventional resources only. Each participant reviewed up to 6 clinical vignettes within a 60-minute period.
That's interesting. So they compared the diagnostic reasoning performance between the two groups. What was novel about this study's approach?
One novel aspect was their assessment tool. Instead of just measuring diagnostic accuracy, they used a structured reflection tool to evaluate the diagnostic process itself. This allowed for a more nuanced understanding of how the AI tool influenced clinical reasoning.
Think of it as not just checking if the final answer was correct, but also examining how participants arrived at their conclusions. So, what were the key findings of the study?
Interestingly, the study found that the availability of the LLM did not significantly improve diagnostic reasoning performance compared to conventional resources. The median diagnostic reasoning score was 76% for the LLM group and 74% for the conventional resources group, with no statistically significant difference.
That's surprising. One might expect that having access to an AI tool would enhance performance.
Indeed. However, an intriguing finding was that the LLM alone, when completing the tasks independently, outperformed both groups of physicians. This suggests that while AI tools have potential, integrating them effectively into clinical practice requires further development and training.
So the AI tool is capable, but physicians might need better methods or training to utilize it effectively. Let's delve into some of the limitations of the study. Are there important points we should consider?
Yes, the study has several limitations. First, the participants included both resident physicians and staff physicians, but the percentage of each group was not clearly specified. Residents are still in training and may not accurately represent the diagnostic capabilities of fully trained physicians. Additionally, it's unclear whether the physicians and residents were working in fields relevant to the cases presented.
That's a critical consideration. Mixing residents and staff physicians without clarification could affect the results.
Exactly. As a resident physician myself in the past, I know that we're still building our knowledge base. We often encounter rare diseases we've never heard of, whereas experienced staff physicians may be familiar with them. Therefore, combining residents and staff physicians without accounting for their different experience levels could skew the findings.
So, the study's conclusions might be flawed if these factors weren't properly addressed.
Precisely. Moreover, while AI tools like ChatGPT show promise, they are not infallible. In my experience, they can make significant medical mistakes, especially in complex cases. This emphasizes the need for physicians to use critical thinking when incorporating AI tools into their practice.
That's an important point. Both the AI tools and the physicians using them need appropriate training and experience. At this juncture, I'd like to bring up an article by Liaw and colleagues from 2022 titled Competencies for the Use of Artificial Intelligence in Primary Care. Could you tell us more about that?
Certainly, Liaw and colleagues propose 6 competencies necessary for integrating AI-based tools into healthcare effectively. These include foundational knowledge of AI, critical appraisal of AI tools, medical decision-making with AI, technical use, patient communication, and addressing unintended consequences.
How do these competencies relate to the limitations we've discussed?
Well, the study we are discussing may not have fully addressed these competencies. For instance, physicians might not have had sufficient foundational knowledge or training in using the AI tool effectively. Critical appraisal skills are essential to evaluate the evidence behind AI tools and decide when to use them appropriately.
So, without adequate training in these competencies, simply providing access to AI tools may not improve diagnostic reasoning.
Exactly. Medical decision-making involves knowing when and how to integrate AI outputs into clinical practice to enhance effectiveness and equity. Technical proficiency ensures that physicians can use the tools efficiently. Patient communication is also crucial. Although not directly addressed in the study, it impacts how AI integration affects patient care.
And addressing unintended consequences means anticipating and mitigating potential adverse effects of AI tools.
Yes, in this case, without proper training and system support, the use of AI tools could lead to over-reliance or misinterpretation, potentially compromising patient care.
What are the broader implications of these findings for healthcare systems?
The study highlights that simply introducing AI tools into clinical settings isn't enough. Effective integration requires systemic support, including training programs that cover the competencies we've discussed. Healthcare systems need to ensure transparency in study methods and focus on staff physicians over learners when evaluating such tools.
So, technology alone isn't a silver bullet. The human element, training, experience, and systemic support is crucial.
Absolutely. For AI tools to truly enhance diagnostic reasoning and patient outcomes, we need to invest in educating physicians on how to use these tools effectively and responsibly.
Future research and implementation should address these limitations to maximize the potential benefits of AI in healthcare.
That's right. Moreover, the study's limitations, such as the mix of resident and staff physicians and the lack of clarity on participant specialties, indicate that conclusions should be drawn cautiously. Focusing on the competencies necessary for effective AI integration is essential.
For our listeners interested in learning more, we encourage you to read the full paper in JAMA Network Open and also check out Liaw et al.'s article on AI competencies in primary care. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Yamasatoumi Journal Club. Stay curious and keep exploring the cutting edge of research.